What's the website that you're going to be on?
This is just YouTube.
So if somebody at home wanted to watch it right now, what would they
Darkim Be AllahChrist.
Say it again.
Darkim, DARKIM.
Hold on. Go ahead. DARKIM. Go ahead.
Yeah, it should come up already. If you put it on YouTube, it'll come up.
Now I'm trying to get somebody info so they can go.
Oh yeah. BE.
Go ahead. BE.
AllahChrist is one word.
Gotcha.
That's my page right there. All right, we got L7 in here first. We beat everyone to the class today. All right. Yeah, I gotta get running a little bit behind. Let me get the picture going for you here. All right, we got Carlos Clark, all in the business. Got Cypher Divine. Trying to hook up the camera. Y'all know how I do.
No, I'm sorry how to do that. You got it?
Yeah, we got it. So, we might have to position me.
Oh, you need something to put it on.
Go on this side again. We can. Oh yeah. All right, now we got a little bit of picture.
Yeah, there.
We got the guy who won justice, came by the class with us today. You know what I'm saying? And here, that's what you see in the background right here. Wait. Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear me? No, yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right, Jarvis Dixon, Calm Islamly, Darkim Kemp. You know. So yeah, you know, I got a rant I was gonna go on. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the chance to ask any questions that y'all might have. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the first shot today because
you gonna go on a rant from there.
yeah, I'm gonna go on a little rant.
That's
about they got one definition of mental illness is when people do the same thing and expect a different outcome. You know what I'm saying? But I think you got to add on to that definition people that expect to do something totally different and get the same outcome. But that's a long story. Where's the rest of the L brothers? The L brothers is a 3-man team now.
Mm-hmm.
We got La Illuminati and who's the other L brother? Oh, see, there go La Illuminati right there. Yeah, that's a sign of insanity. They say doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. But what about when you do something totally different, expect the same outcome? All right, Jarvis Dixon from South Carolina. Where's Bishopville? What county is that? We have a lot of South Carolina here. We got anybody from Detroit? Or you in 793rd? What about L7? L7 not down with y'all? Lee County. And I don't know what's Lee County. So doing something different and expecting the same outcome is just stupidity. I mean, I don't make these things up.
You can elaborate on what you mean by doing something different and trying to get the same outcome?
Well, specifically, dealing with the culture, you know what I'm saying, of our God, you know what I'm saying, people expect to do things totally different a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, and still, like there's this nostalgia about, how the nation was and, how it used to be and all of this, but you don't want to do none of the stuff that we did. And you expecting the nation to be the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to renew history and not repeat history. So, you can't do the exact same thing. Yeah, some things have to change in order to apply with the times. You see, that's the fine line between a jungle life and a beach life. See, in the jungle life, yeah, you adapted some things, but in the beast life, you became one of the savages in order to survive. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You can adapt to different things. Fly phrase from the Providence plantations. Yo, the mighty healthy one was that was my joint. See, that one had a little more edge to it. I like that one. What was the name of it? MC, what was it? Fly MC or something? The other one, Too Righteous, man. First one that had that street edge on it. But yeah, we got Supreme Justice in the bill. MC Wizardry, yeah. Yeah, that one had the street edge on it. You know what I'm saying? We got Supreme Justice counting that as out of the DMV. You know what I'm saying? But just saying in terms of a lot of times, that's what I see, that, you know, you really got to do the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, and have some kind of mastery in order to know what's the things that you want to keep and what's the things you want to leave in the past when you're renewing history. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, some people want to renew the history in a way where you renew the history out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily so much a lot of times what was done, you know, it might have been how it was done. But you know, one of the babies that I seen, you know, a lot of the newer people throw out with the bathwater is the lessons.
Yeah.
And how we dealt with the lessons, you know what I'm saying, and how I continue to deal with the lessons. You know, anything that you got that has changed, whether it changed for the better or whether it changed for the worse. When you ask the people that was around before that change, they have an idea for themselves of what brought about that change. Like, all right, see, when that person came, yeah, that's when things started going good. We started winning. We switched from this side to that side, yeah, that's when we noticed things start popping. Or, you know, yeah, you know, we stopped doing that. It's downhill after that. And that's one of the things that happened is that, you know, see, all this access, and that's something that's known about access. That's something that's known about choices, is that sometimes too much options, you know what I mean, the person get confused.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you see lions hunting, right? And you see them run, it looks like they just running at the crowd. But they picked they picked that zebra out yesterday.
Yeah.
When you seen them just sitting there, they wasn't even hungry. They already saw that zebra limping yesterday. And all the rest of them, they could have stood right there because they not after them. They after that particular one. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't think people realize, man. Sometimes, you know, and then sometimes it comes down to you know, disrespect, you know, where you think people have been doing this for 60 years, but we don't know what we're talking about. You've been to college, you know, you got a bachelor's degree in this or that, you know, and you expect to be able to come, you know, and, you know, understand everything we doing in one day. You see what I'm saying? You know, when it says there, you know, the military training, it was more like a military training. See, right now it's more like a friendship, social thing. See, one thing that happened is now you got the internet, the email, all these different things, right? And you got different options of how you could get the lessons. Peace, right, man?
Peace.
Yeah, just sit back a little bit. Yeah, they can see us. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got different options now about how you can get the lessons. See, when I got the knowledge, the lessons was like the elixir of life. And how you see people, you know, they looking for the elixir of life, they looking for the fountain of youth, and they going over the river and through the woods, and you know, axes is flying all by them and everything, and they got to go through the obstacle course. Like you, what's that movie? Like you and Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what you had to go to, but that was the only way to get the elixir of life. There was no, yo, I'm gonna just log on. Or I'm gonna just call up this person. You know, people's person punch you in your face for touching their book of life. But see, now that you got so many options, right? It just seems like less of a thing to the people because, first of all, you're just looking at it on face value. Joseph, you had Joseph and the mathematician, two of the old schoolers. You know what I'm saying? You know, it seems less important because of how much easier it is for you to be able to get the lessons. And you do the knowledge to it, you know, you see it, it tells you certain things on face value. You know, who's the original man? You know, you see that right there. But then when you really dig into the degree, like, look, I look at the lessons right now and see new stuff that I ain't seen before. See, like what you said, there are many versions of the lessons online. See, here's the thing. You can get as many versions as you want. Here's the bottom line. Those lessons existed for 30 years. For 30 years before we put our hands on them. Why none of them people ain't seen what we seen? And see, that is one of the rants that I was going to go. See, that's why I don't give out 120 lessons like that. I don't give it out, first of all, because, you know, to me, it's not something to be given.
Yeah. That's what my father said.
Yeah, it's not something to be given. It's something to be earned. You understand what I'm saying? Especially, you know, I mean, if you just want the 120 lessons to read it, yeah, go ahead and download it. Oh. There's some crazy going on out there, man. Somebody come get you a king, man. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? See, the first thing when I got it, look, you had to agree. See, you didn't just get the lessons because you was the son of man that was searching. You know what I'm saying? You curious about what it is we teach or whatever, you know, so because you're curious, you get 120 lessons. Nah. Wasn't for you to search for more trains of years. First, you have to agree. You know, when you asked for the lessons, brother said, why you want it? That was the first thing. And listen, you know, whatever answer you had, listen, that was going to get you know, because let's say a person say, look, well, you know, I want to get the knowledge so I can better myself. Yeah, but you don't even know what the knowledge is. So how you know it's going to make you better? How you know it's sending the lessons that's going to make you better? See, from the jump, brothers let you know, listen, we're not going to just be taking what you're saying on face value. See, the guy was just saying, look, you have to fast 3 days. You see, the fast 3 days, you think, look, we ain't got to watch you. You already know the kind of nigga you is if you bullshitted and then fasted 3 days and came back and lied and said you did. You already know the kind of nigga you is, and it's going to show and prove itself. Then for each lesson, man, that you got, right, you have to be able to quote that and build on it in order to get the next lesson.
Right, so that's the school I come from. And there was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, it was no, yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. The value of it, it was a different, you know what I'm saying? And where you had to go, the places that you had to go to get the lessons, you know, some of these places was dangerous, man. You see, the difference is, right, is that going through it that way, right? See, a lot of things, even, see, like right now, you have brothers that they on the 1 to 10, they asking all these questions that's in the 1 to 40. See, back then, we didn't really get an opportunity to do that because you didn't have those lessons. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying that each person, you know, you got to understand that your grasp of 120, right, is what, you know, your grasp of it, you know, not 120 per se, but, you know, 120 is the first thing that we practicing, right? Being able to understand. So we can understand who these characters is, who these ideas that's being manifested in the lesson, and then we can recognize them in life and know how to move. You know what I'm saying? But your understanding of it, you being able to quote it for yourself and understanding of it, that's what frees you. See, that's when you show and prove that you was the teacher all along and not a student. See, now you don't have to say, see, you know, when you ain't studying, you know, you first start, the brother that taught me, he said this, you know, my enlightenment said that. But see, as time go on and you internalize this for yourself, not like the brother the other day, he's trying to, you trying to build with me with the lessons. You got them on paper, you flipping through the paper, and I got them on cap. There's no way you're gonna, you understand what I'm saying? There's no way we gonna be able to converse on the equal field because I got it on cap. It's like we playing basketball and you got a book with the rules of the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm already playing, man. How you think that's gonna come out? See, that's the thing right there. You're refusing to take all of the knowledge, which, like I said, is the difference between us and all the other people. See, you got people that try to say that, but the reality is, right? We are unbroken chain. Nobody returned to essence, and then we went through this and we went through that. We still the same people because everybody got all the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, there's no person or group of people that can be taken out or eliminated, right? And then we cease to exist. There's no person that you could trap off in a situation and he don't know what to do. He don't know what to say. Because everybody got all the knowledge from the jump. See, we not the 10%. Like I said, look, the first day we already give you the whole jewel. We already tell you that you got. Now, we tell you that you got, now you too arrogant. You understand what I mean? You too arrogant to realize, yeah, you still got to study that though. We told you that you 7, but look, when we met you, that don't mean you was 6, huh? You might just been 2. And now you got to go through the things, look, mentally and physically for some people. You got to deal with your culture, your way of life. You know, things that you might have been doing that take you outside the realm of this, man. Like the guy is saying right here, you got to swim the 9,000 miles. And studying those lessons, man, that's the first mile. That's the first mile, man. Because how you know where you at in the water? Some people drown. That's what happened. They get confused and swim down because they disoriented in the water. What about when you out there in the middle of the water, you can't even see land? See, you got to know where you came from. You got to know the signs that's around you. Like for instance, you know, just the other day I was walking outside and it was a crescent moon with a star, but the crescent was facing the other way. But when you looked at it, it was like, yo, and I'm telling you, it looked exactly like the NOI flag. But that's what I'm saying. Right now, it's like people, I don't know what they expect their first mile to be. I don't know what they think that they've dealt with in life that's like this. So you don't got to, like, look, you got to take sugar, man. You can't take equal. You can't take, you know, whatever's that other stuff. It's got to be sugar, son. Because there's no, you know, there's no easy way out of yourself. So they say you can fool some of the people some of the time. Listen, yeah, but you fooling yourself, that's the dumbest of all. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna fool yourself no times. You can play it off until it's time to show and prove. And guess what? When it's time to show and prove, you gonna know. You see the look in people's face that's fronting all the time. You see, don't get it confused. I know the lessons don't make you guys. The lessons don't make you nothing. But it's the first mile you gotta swim. You know, even in our day and time, you know, we live with different terms. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you also, like I said, you gotta look at the lessons from every level. You know, I still was at the end of that time and still was people around calling black people colored. Like my great grandmother, that she called, we would watch the TV. Now you know the color guy that was on the other show. So see, just that mindset. How do you get into all the rest of it, right? If you stuck at that mile. See, when it's telling you that you know, it's 4,400,000,000 original people, you wasn't even looking at all them people. You didn't know all them people was original. So now if you don't know all the people as original, you don't know all the different people that have some keys about how this happened. You understand what I'm saying? Just like, in this class, we go through different signs, where it might be from India or it might be, from Egypt or, you understand what I mean? All these different civilizations, right, was founded by the original man. But see, that's not what we learned in school. When they showed us the different art and the different pictures, right, of the different civilizations, you know what I'm saying? You seeing other people. And they not telling you that, yeah, these people, they was dead. But they got there 1,000 years after all that other stuff we talking about.
Spaniards.
Right. So even right now, yeah. Now look, you just made a good example. Most Egyptologists is French and British. There's only a handful, of original people that actually study. So which version is we getting, which version we getting in there? See, all them things got to be reversed in your mind, that whole mindset. That's why that's the first mile that you got to swim, man. You swimming back to your origin, you understand what I mean? That's the real thing you got to do. Yeah, is it other things you could study? Yeah, it is. But we already, as far as I'm concerned, the rest of that stuff, you can't teach that to a 12-year-old and have them understand it. And you give them the whole 66 books of the Bible. How many surahs is in the Quran? That's much more difficult for them to break down. 120 is compact. You know what I'm saying? When you first get it, and just the whole concept of putting it on cap, it makes sense. But that's compact. And it's written in our language. They don't say he doth goeth to you understand what I'm saying? Where all of that makes it more difficult to understand for a baby. So, that's like one thing that I've seen people kind of they don't count it for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you could be doing that in my mind is, you're not looking at the history of how things happen. The brothers that you see, whether it's the firstborn, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's somebody came in the 70s, whether somebody came in the 80s, somebody came in the 90s, we graduated from a system. You know what I'm saying? Where you went into the ciphers, you know what I'm saying? And, in there, that's where you learn public speaking. That's where you learn not to take things on face value. You understand what I'm saying? That's where you learn the responsibilities of teaching and all of that. And see, now you see a person, yeah, after 30 years, yeah, you freestyle. So a person is speaking, I can speak to you, right? And be dealing with a lesson without quoting none of the words out of that lesson. But see, like I said, some things is about respect. Sometimes, you gotta think, man, and I've seen different people make this mistake in different things. See, sometimes when something looks easy, that's because the person you see doing it is really that good. That's what excellence do. Excellence, make a LeBron, Harden, he's making it look easy to drop 50. Literally make it look easy out there. Like, step over, have, and look. That's not because it's easy. That's because of how good he is. See, you got all different levels of things that I've seen people making mistakes, man. You know, people talking about they live 120. Is your name W.F. Muhammad? Are you living out making the babies blind, deaf, and dumb? And how you know these things? That's what I'm saying. How you know the signs of all the things what's occurring? Because some signs is going to be invisible to the naked eye. Some things is in a fine mist, so it's invisible to the naked eye. See, when Yakub comes around, right, and what would he do? He promised his nation that he was going to make everybody else their footstools, right? Now, what happened when the traitor came? They didn't understand that he was talking that same Yakub talk. You're going to make me better over there. No, you're not, because I ain't going with you. That's the importance of knowing 120. You know, is because, like I said, look, in this year we seen that. You see with all the things what happened this year? Whether we talking about the quarantine stuff, where we talking about the rebellions or whatever. It was a time when, listen, you know, a lot of us, we just sitting here watching on TV, but if you happen to be there at the time, you got to know how you going to act and react. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to get caught up with these people, or you going to go with those people? Are you going to remain solo? What is it you going to do? And what I'm saying is that when we saying that, okay, we a nation and we got to move in unison, all right, if we all go right and you go left, see, that's one thing the lessons do. Because just like on here, we from all over the country, all over the world. How do we become, one? How do we become one mind so that we can move as one body? If you come into the table and, you speak in, some Egyptian science, and he comes to the table and he's speaking some Sumerian science, and he comes to the table and he's speaking some Greek science, and he comes to the table and he's speaking some doggone science. We deal with the supreme mathematics and we exercise it. We exercise our ability to use supreme mathematics, right? Through the study and analysis of 120. So, that was one of my rants right there. Y'all should put the word out. If you call school, right, and you get Darkim on the phone, do not ask for 120 lessons, because I'm not giving it to you. See, first of all, look, you wherever you at, trust me, knowledge is there. And that's where you got to earn it at amongst those brothers. See, this is a little bit of a side note, but who saw there was a documentary that the Black Panthers made, right? And they were saying about how it became so many infiltrators. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so they were saying that what happened was they had an event where they was doing what they was doing, and it got filmed on national TV. You know what I'm saying? So then they were showing, they cut to other people who became Black Panthers, and they was like, yo, we saw that, and we was like, yo, I gotta be down, son. I gotta be that. Like, yo, they just wilded out. You know what I'm saying? I think they chased Ronald Reagan with the guns. Like, they was out protesting at the California Capitol, and Ronald Reagan was the governor of California at that time. So he saw them and was like, yo, who's Black people with some guns over there? And he started going this way. So they started coming behind him. I mean, listen, according to them, they just wanted to talk. You know what I'm saying? But Ronald Reagan, in this detail, they jetted it. You know what I'm saying? So the people that's looking at it on TV, they see these brothers chasing Ronald Reagan with guns. They're like, yo, listen, man, I got to be down with that. You know what I'm saying? So they said, people came from all over the country. You know what I'm saying? And it was so many people in such a short period of time that they just was hitting everybody off with the program and sending them back. They didn't have no time to examine nobody. So they was like, yeah, all kinds of people came in that.
I remember that part.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We realized afterwards. You see what I'm saying? And some things is dealing with time too.
That's about
Is that, you gotta remember, back in my time when you got the knowledge in the neighborhood, we all knew each other from elementary. These brothers might have had the knowledge before you, but y'all remember I was in 7th grade with that brother. You know what I'm saying? Everybody lived right around here. Brothers know, oh yeah, that's such brother or whatever. See, now people come, I'm from Kalamazoo, you know what I'm saying? And, the bastards of the party, I think wasn't that about the Crips? I think that was about the gangs in LA. But yeah, I saw that one too. But just saying that's how it is. Or you ever saw the dude, I know you remember Like It Is, with Gil Noble.
Yeah.
Gil Noble got an episode on Like It Is, right? Where
that's pretty much show.
Yeah, like, yo, listen. When they put that black lady on after he went off, it was like, see, y'all could have did better than this, man. Y'all couldn't wait till Gil Noble something happened to him, man. The thing I like about Gil Noble, never changed the set. Listen, Gil Noble was in an empty room with a cardboard right here and say Gil Noble. But listen, dropping the science. I used to watch Gil Noble before I got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But Gil Noble has an episode with the dude that set up Hampton, the dude in Chicago. He got a video with the dude.
I gotta go back.
Yeah, there's another video. I mean, in the same video, I can't remember who the other dude is. The other dude is a snake too. He said he's somebody. I can't remember who he snaked though. But the dude said he wasn't even on no black consciousness in that. Like he was, civil rights. He wasn't even thinking like that. He said he had got caught stealing a car. He wasn't even in Illinois. He was in Michigan, I think. He got caught stealing the car. So he was like, well, how you? He was like, well, I knew I was facing some time, so I was looking for a way out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, So he said, yo, one day they came to me and was like, yo, why don't you join the Black Panthers for us? You know what I'm saying? So he said, yo, I was already looking for a way out. They said that. I said, he rolled with it. He gets over there. They make him the head of security. So then as head of security, he was the one that told them this is the layout of everything, left the door open.
Yeah, I know that part, but I didn't know about the gun.
It was on Gil Noble.
Yeah.
It's a movie or TV show.
It was a TV show of a guy, I think Gil Noble must have started coming on in late 60s or early, because some of his shows are black and white. you know, but Gil Noble was, Gil Noble was somebody that, listen, he not in our age group, but for his age group, Gil Noble is the Lord of all worlds from highest to lowest. Like Gil Noble would sit here and talk with the president about all these issues. Then the next episode, Gil Noble would be up in the shooting gallery with his dope addicts and giving an interview to them. And he was in place, he never was out of place in either form and everything in between.
More like a monster or militant.
Man, you know.
All three.
Did you say a what?
Politician.
Nah, he was a journalist.
I think he more or less was a journalist. I don't know, but you said a mobster?
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you saying, you mean like in terms of did he come from the more militant side of civil rights or the more passive side?
Yeah, like the militant, the Black Panthers. He's a powerful dude, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, Gil Noble was that good of a journalist where, you didn't know. Like I said, you could be a crackhead sitting there and he treat you, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be a dignitary coming in, you know what I'm saying? And he still deal with you the same way. Like he didn't show no bias. You understand what I'm saying? Gil Noble, I think he was knowledgeable of the fact too that, at least the shows that I was seeing by the time I started seeing them where it's like, we in a certain stage, you know what I'm saying, where, a lot of the things that sparked the civil rights movement, a lot of elements of the civil rights movement, by the late 70s, early 80s, that had disappeared from the, you know what I'm saying, was a whole new. So yeah, he realized that, what he was doing was educating people on the real deal of what happened. So yeah, there'd be times when he had people like, that might be affiliated with Malcolm X on there. And then another time he might have people that might be affiliated with, Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? But, Gil Noble gave you the real. You know what I'm saying? But saying all that, shout out to Gil Noble too, man. That's the type of people that we need. We had Gil Noble out here. And look, if more people paid attention, and Gil Noble came on at that type of time where it was like, a lot of people were still resting and Sunday morning and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I caught Gil Noble, like I said, even at 85%.
This is the same man that gave out the layouts.
Nah. He was the one that interviewed that guy.
Oh, okay.
He had, I don't recall his name, but I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
You know what I'm saying? If you Google I think the other guy, I ain't even gonna speculate, but they had two people on there. I think the other guy ended up committing suicide. You know what I'm saying? Because even the dude that I was just talking about, he said that, the way he portrayed it on the show was that, he didn't know it was going to be to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, he thought maybe they was going to do a raid and arrest him or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't know they was going to, shred the whole place and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, so he said that, when he heard the shots going off and how many shots was going off, and then he came back and saw it, that's when he realized, like, yo, I messed up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's way too late now. You understand what I mean? But just saying that these are the things, man, where you gotta understand those lessons, man. You understand what I mean? Not the degrees. I'm talking about those lessons of life. You understand what I mean? Yeah. That, we in a nation where our founder only got 5 years with us. You know what I'm saying? And out of 5 of those years, he was down for 2 of them.
It's 7
You
o'clock.
understand what I'm saying? So, and, who's those people, man? Like, how many of y'all seen the FBI files.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of Allah. Yeah, Allah was a COINTELPRO target.
Did I? I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if I did see him.
Yeah.
I saw something, I want to say like last year, about the files.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if it was the FBI files. I don't know what I was watching.
Yeah, in the 80s. In the 80s, the brothers, they filed a Freedom of Information and they got the files. Now, if you ever see the files, it says in there, right? You know, this is the report, this is the information right here, right? And then on the bottom it says, we received this information from redacted name, right? And then it says, who is a 5% and has given us reliable information in the past. You see what I'm saying? That's what we in, you know. So make no mistake about it when I tell you that, listen, I wish I had a button that I could just press and tell me who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just put a bubble over your head that say, Snake, good brother. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You know, we in a nation where the founder said, listen, man, them people out there, they can't get me. It's going to be one of y'all.
Yeah, I was watching something that pertained to that. When he did say it's going to be one of y'all, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's, you know, that's something that's, you know, that's a part of our nation, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of our history. You know, other nations where, you know, your leader lived until, you know, old ripe age and died with his family all around him or whatever, you know, you might have a different dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the dynamic that, listen, you know, we was getting everybody from everywhere, but, you know, a lot of the focus was already on people who was walking on the other side of the line. And see, that's what happens with a lot of things. You start bringing people in that they got other agendas. See, you always got to beware. Anytime you got a group of people, you have to beware of the psychopaths and the sociopaths. I don't care what the organization is. A lot of times when you look back, even if you look at certain gangs, when you look back and they tell you about the leader and the first brothers, they be like, yo, man, nah, they was just good dudes, man. Like, they could fight, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they should look out for us, you know what I mean? I remember the dude tried to take my ball, and he went over there and got my ball back. You understand what I'm saying? But then after a while, you start letting the psychopaths and the sociopaths in. And they start noticing, yo, we got a lot of people, man. Yo, what if we do this? You understand what I'm saying? And they don't have no code or no value system like the other people to understand how to deal with power. See, that's the science of, you know, rites of passage that we don't have in America, especially. You understand what I'm saying? Where people don't understand how to, you know, apply their power. So they become the 10%. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's like, you know, if they got, you know, a new car or something, you know, you got a new car, you know, you done looked under the hood, the engine look a certain way. So you like, man, what happens if I press the gas all the way down? You see what I'm saying? But, you know, all of that, you know, the way how we did it then was by dealing with the lessons. See, because just like, you know how they say, you know, you could play certain games with certain people, or you could look at certain people, you could tell the kind of personality that they have by how they deal with certain things. You know, you can look at how people analyze the lessons, man. You understand what I'm saying? And tell certain things. You just look at how they analyze it, man. You understand what I mean? Just like I say, look, you know, recently, what I noticed just in you know, our culture in general, you know, people start getting certain warped out mentalities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you are loyal to your friends, you stupid.
Yeah.
But if you betray your friends, yeah, he's smart. That's what you're supposed to do. He got his. You know what I'm saying? Yes, man, stay away from me, man. You're not somebody that I want around me, man. That's how you think.
Period. Majority of that just culture, I have to say, think that way. That's their model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of these is things, you know, some people is just following, you know, what they think is right. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of people, that's them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in any situation, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got some people that, you know, they can't even deal with it. You know, they get in that situation, they fall out and die. You know what I'm saying? You got people who can deal with it, you know what I mean? They can handle it, you know, they'll take their medicine and go through the hell and come out right, but they ain't really with it. And then you got motherfuckers who thrive off that shit. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, whether it's good or bad.
You already got the time.
7 after 7.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad, you know, you could go to school. Some people flunk right out. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they go there, they do their work, but they don't really like it. And then some people thrive there. They stay after school, they get in all the debate team and all of that. And see, all these are the type of things that you start seeing from the degrees. So you start knowing who's the type of person that thrives off of other people's pain and oppression. And see, once you know the lessons, now you know who this person is. Even amongst the people you may consider your friends, there's some of them where it's like, you know, yeah, you know, we can roll, yo, what time you going? All right, yo, call me and we roll over together. And there's other dudes, yeah, all right? You know what I'm saying? You keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see it, man. You know, yeah, you see it when you see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wouldn't take it none of my battery dead right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because you realize who this person is. You understand what I mean? And I'm not going through your hell with you because I got supreme knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, all these is the different things. That's what I'm saying. You know, you might don't see it now. But trust me, it's in here. It's in 120. And as you come in tune with different brothers, man, and you building on it, you know what I'm saying? Just like, look, you can tell how much time a person is spending studying the lessons. You know, you can tell how much time a person is spending living righteously, living out this culture by what they talk about. You know, what's the examples that you use? You know, just like, look, it's some people now, you're talking to some people and all their stories is jail stories.
All of them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you like said, we out in the world now. I don't hear about it there no more. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? That you know, for a lot of them, it's because they've been going in there since they were so young. And then they spend, you know, you got brothers that look, they've been in jail the majority of the time I known them.
And it's similar to the army type.
Right, that's another group of people that, yo, everything is, yo, and, you know, basic training and, you know, listen, man, I don't hear about that. You know, yeah, you know, we had to shine our shoes like this. Man. Listen, if I, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You see, all these different people that you would learn, man, who these characters are. You understand what I mean? All those characters, whether they in the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, you know, even if they in Aesop's fables, the boy who cried wolf. You understand what I'm saying? That's a person that exists in your everyday life. You understand what I mean? And how much you interact with them is based on upon if you understand the moral of that story. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, the wordsmith, yeah, you way behind, man. But yeah, because it's time we move on to the next topic that I you know, this is something that I, uh it came up because you know, this rap battle stuff, right? I recently heard that Big Daddy Kane is going to be battling with Rakim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So now look, you know, as a hip hopper, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is a moment we've been waiting for. You know what I'm saying?
I almost jumped out my bed.
This is a moment we've been waiting for almost 40 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been waiting for this. This is what, like 86, 87?
Yeah.
So, you know,
86,
yeah, on that level, it's one thing. Your brother say, yeah, man, the two guys gonna be battling. What two guys? What two guys? See,
I knew it was coming.
See, this is what I mean when I say 5% versus 5% influence. And see, especially if you're not from, you know, New York or, you know, brothers from New Jersey, you know, could probably attest to this too. If you're not from here, you don't realize the influence that the 5% had.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You gotta remember, there's no other side.
That's a fact.
It's not like, yo, you got Crips and you got Bloods.
That's a fact.
There was no other thing. It was just the 5%. You understand what I'm saying?
Hold that thought. Let me just say this real quick. My mother kicked me out the house when I first got my message.
Yeah. That's how serious it was. And
dead serious.
Everybody, look, when I first came back with the lesson, my uncle said that too. Look, my uncle, he said, yo, 5% ain't that a game?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Listen. I said, nah, man, what you talking about? He said, yeah, man, I remember when the 5% we used to hear they was coming, everybody used to go home. Yeah, I used to ask him, I said, well, how y'all heard they was coming? Yo, you should just be around, man. When the 5% is coming, we should just go home. You understand what I'm saying? But just the impact that it had, it was just something that, listen, you're not gonna meet 10 people from New York, right? If it's the 1980s, you're not gonna meet 10 people, and one of them was not a 5%. You know, nothing, never was a 5%, never had the lesson, that's just an impossibility. You understand what I'm saying? Just the same way right now, you're not gonna get 10 people, right, that come out of California, that come out of LA, right, that don't have no, you know, gang ties whatsoever. You know, somebody in their family or whatever is the culture has just been there that long. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times you hear people speaking our language. You know, you see people doing the b-boy stance and mimicking us like that. Peace, like man.
Gotta wake up early tomorrow.
All right, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? You see people, you know, doing all types of things, you know, when, you know, the type of clothes we wear, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you see, Joseph said, my generation made it easier for his group. He had staff in Spofford letting him get supreme math. I had a couple of staff members look out for me. Listen, more than likely, those couple of staff members was 5%. That's what I'm saying. Like you look, you anywhere you go, you know, in Rikers Island, there's COs there that's 5%. Anywhere you went in listen, nothing happened in New York between about 1972 you probably got to get to like 1998, 99, 2000 before you could have something where the 5% ain't involved somehow. Like I'm talking about stories that I heard, people I never knew. Like, they talking about Nicky Barnes. Next thing come out, yeah, this earth right here name was Shamik. You understand? Like, whoa. What? You understand what I'm saying? No matter what it is, no matter what it is, somehow or another, the 5% was involved in everything that happened in that era. So that's why you got to be aware of what's 5% versus 5% influence. Like all the gangs in New York, they all got lessons. They got, a lot of them got mathematics, they got alphabet. All of that is because of the influence of the 5%. You know, everybody got a story. You know, it's almost the same as, you know, hip hop is kind of like that in New York. Where if you was around in the 80s, you did something. You wrote graffiti, you break dance, you DJ, you rhyme, you did something. Because that was just the culture of what everybody was doing. But see, even within that, you know, there was always 5%ers involved. So that's why you got to be aware, right? When you listen to people, whether it's online, whether it's offline. See, that's what's happened, you know, in a lot of these situations. In situations arose where brothers say, yo, God, how did you know what that brother was about? I knew because I know the difference between 5% and 5% influence. See, one of the first things you could tell, right? People that's 5% influence can't add and multiply. And see, they can tell you the black man is God, right? But if you ask them to show and prove that in any way, see, they're not going to be able to do that. See, that's one of the first ways you're going to be able to tell that everything they're saying is on the face value. Real Hip Hop said, what happened to the 5% nation influence? Well, it still exists. You know what I'm saying? there's definitely things that's occurring in New York that, would not have happened, in earlier times. One of the things that happened to it, lessons started just being given out. And as, any of y'all that's tried to teach anybody, right, you'll know that somebody who think they know, but only got a little bit of knowledge is the absolute hardest person to teach. Like, out of all the different people, the person who thinks they know, but really only got a little bit of knowledge is the most difficult person to teach. So see, you got, say Mob Deep. They 5% influence. And see, one of the things they did, right, is for the people who was uninformed, they made them think that using this slang is what makes you God. You understand what I'm saying? Even Ghostface and Raekwon, was involved with that too. Well, if I just say, I got this cup of water, God, now all of a sudden that's a 5% statement. See, that happens when you're uninformed yourself. You fall for that. You understand what I'm saying? But see, another thing, like I said, especially when you're dealing with New York, everybody, it's a certain ave where we all congregate. Everybody is from around here. You understand what I'm saying? It's certain, we not, I mean, don't get me wrong. You got brothers in Medina, you got brothers in the desert, you got brothers everywhere. But I'm saying we know each other. Like, it's not that many degrees of separation between each guy. Like, you might don't know him as an individual, but if y'all go through y'all history, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know the same people. See, a lot of these people, we already know we don't know them. Like, if he was a 5%, we was a 5% at. He wasn't 5% on 149th Street. He wasn't 5% on Broadway Junction. He wasn't 5% in Fulton Mall. We was 5% at. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the places where the guys used to be, I don't understand you. You used to go to the rallies, guy. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times you got to be aware of that, man, not to get caught up, in this, these kind of, these statements, these catchphrases, like I was saying yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? Where, you hear them and they sound good, but you never really examine them. You never really come to an understanding of them. Because remember, a lot of those phrases, those is to get babies to understand. Why's the dome? That's to get babies to understand, the science of what wisdom is. But, as we mature, our science is supposed to mature too. Coleman's Lonely says someone told him the only true and living in the woo was a son. You mean a son? Who's a son? You talking about 60?
Okay, son.
But yeah, that's a lot of them, they was 5% influenced. See, it was a situation where, look, we got a group of people together, you know what I'm saying? Uh, some is 85, some is 5, right? Now you only got build and destroy. So who's gonna be the influence? Capitana is 5%. Where? Will he be out in Cleveland dropping the signs? He just brothers from Cleveland. Maybe you see something. Maybe you see something that I haven't seen. Now, yeah, Master Killer, he's somebody, look, you see Master Killer at the rally to this day. In fact, he's the only one you see, coming to the rally right now. But yeah, whenever he's in town, yeah, you see the guy. You said a son is a great builder. What do you mean by that? You heard him build before? Oh, dirty bastard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You heard him build before? Because, now listen, I'm tell you something. You're right. In terms of, in the streets, before Wu-Tang, you're right. A-Song was a builder. A-Song Unique was a builder. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never seen him build like that, once the old Dirty Bastard came out. So that's why I'm wondering, what are y'all talking about? Like, is something that I missed? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, look, a lot of people, like, for instance, what was the first, uh, kind of 5% phrase before everybody was, yo, God this, yo, God that, yo, God, before everybody was saying that, what was the 5% word that everybody was using? Dr. Dankenstein said you built with who at the rally before? What year was this? Now look, SW said they let ODB self-destruct. I'm still upset about that. Look, this is what I'm saying. If you self-destructing and you telling me at the same time, this is what I said, when y'all seen them build? Jizzle was building on liquid swords. Okay. We have to back up now and define building, I think. Yeah, we got to define building. See, a person could be speaking our language, right? And you saying that they building. But see, this is how people rhyming in a circle became known as a cipher. People smoking weed in a circle became known as a cipher. Because that was the influence that we had.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? The people who was around, they wanted to be a part of that in whatever way. You said ODB made his whole family 5%. Who's his whole family? Not his sister. I mean, you know, I'm sure he got other family. I don't know. I'm saying I know some of them. You built with Old Dirty in '96. On what degree? I mean, A-Song was a gladiator. He was somebody, man. That, you know, he was definitely a builder. But I'm just saying that, you know, one of the things, in my opinion, that kind of led to his demise was that, you know, he was getting paid for that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, you know, you doing, you know, all this righteous stuff, you building, you know, and all this, but then when you act a fool, you know what I mean, they give you millions of dollars. You understand what I mean? And he ran with that. You see, look, as W said, yeah, it was profit involved with him, you know, becoming, you know, and him, you know, dealing with death, hell, and destruction. And so, you know, y'all, you know, maybe the brother just met him in '96. But for me, as somebody that knew him from at least 1990, you know, maybe '89, but at least like 1990, nah, that wasn't the same. You know, I mean, you know, deep inside, you know, you had conversations with him, you know, he still was the guy. You know what I'm saying? But the scientist that he had been before that, nah, didn't. You know, it wasn't the same to me. Yeah, Capitan is 5% influence. Look, there's a lot of people, man. They 5% influence. You see what I'm saying? Like when we say Lord of all worlds from highest to lowest, right? Listen, there's some, you know, there's some house gods. Like there's people that, you know, one day they came up to the cipher and said, peace to the God. Like, yo, you got the knowledge? when you got the knowledge, I never knew you was God. You know, you got some neighborhood guys that they never really left their block. They 5% over there, but they never really came to the rallies, came to the school. And then you got universal guys that you could be on the West Coast and brothers be like, yeah, I was just talking to such and such. Yo, you know the guy? Yeah, I know the guy, man. He been out here, man. Carmen's Lumley hit it on the head. That was the first thing that I could recall is everybody started saying peace at the end of their record. If you had other little things, you know, over the years that people came out with that was, you know, our type of terminology. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like I remember when EPMD, look, I give you a good example of 5% influence, right, versus 5%. And look, how I learned the lesson, what I'm teaching right now. I remember when EPMD, they had a record where they said you catch a universal beatdown. You know what I'm saying? So when they said that, I thought maybe they was the 5%. And I was looking for other evidence of it. But then that's when I realized that, nah, this, they just somebody that like how we speak. Born Love Allah Supreme said the only mainstream rappers I heard building lyrically was Rakim and Big Daddy Kane. See, these people, right? Olu Graphic said he recalls a source magazine issue where they talked about how much slang originated with the 5%. You know what I'm saying? But these two guys that you're talking about right here, one thing you gotta remember, Rakim only had the knowledge a couple of months when he came out. Now Justice was 5%. King Son's 5%. I don't know who Rakim is. The guy Fahim, that he's like a new brother though, right? You talking about the new brother. Fahim, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really, that's why I said that's the new brother. I don't really know about him. Poor Righteous Teachers, there was another group that, they didn't really have much knowledge, which, I mean, you got to give them credit for their talent. You know what I'm saying? It's that they was able to, formulate those ideas and those terminologies without even really being 5%. But see, this is what I'm saying. I used to pick Rakim's rhymes apart a lot, just on some 5% signs, not in terms of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But for instance, you remember when Rakim had a line where he said, I take a trip around the world twice, from knowledge to born back to knowledge precise. But that's only one trip. Did anybody catch that when he said that? Or when he said, thinking how hard it was to be born, me being cream with no physical form. But the cream is physical. You see, if you don't have the knowledge and you're not really, that's the thing. They kicking our language, so yeah, it sounds good to us. We like to hear this and everything, but I'm saying if you actually put this on a scale, see, a lot of these dudes, you gotta remember 5% influence, who I'm also putting in this category, is people in the used to be category. Being black conscious and all of that is not being a 5%. You know what I mean? If that was the case, then look, Ivan Van Sertima would be a 5%. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Just because a person can, kick certain things about the black man or whatever the case may be. You see what I mean? And see, that's another thing about when you say 5% influence, right? You gotta remember a lot of these people, they've gone into worlds, right, where they work very intimately with the colored man. You know, they've got a whole bunch of, you know, they got a whole bunch of, you know, friends amongst the colored people. You know, and you know, their experience amongst the colored people is another influence on them. You understand what I'm saying? Just like, you know, the 5% is an influence on me. Being in New York is another influence on me. But see, for me, no influence can, you know, really come up to that level. You know what I'm saying? But for other people, you know, they want to know, you know, how can I call, you know, like, look, remember that book that Prodigy wrote? Where he was talking about, you know, the brothers this and the brothers that, but it was the colored man that looked out for him when he was locked up. Yeah, I mean, you know, when you starting to have those type of experiences, see, that's one of the reasons why the knowledge, right? You know, whether you talking about the NOI or the 5%, that's one of the reasons why people in jail absorb it like this, because you're dealing with the devil in there. See, it's easy for you to understand the white man's the devil when you having that experience in there. But what about when some of your best friends is colored? Oh, King Just? Nah, he's not one of us. You said who's God by Rakim? He's built on a great understanding. I haven't the late Rakim songs I wasn't really into. So Born Love said, when you say influence, are you putting those who have been grafted from the teachings as well, not just those who've been around the gods? I mean, the term you use is grafted, I would say straight away. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got a lot of people that, you know, that was one of the changes that money made in some people too. You know what I'm saying? Like how they say, you know, money changes people. You know, the change that brought in some people, right, is that when the poor came out of their lesson, the teaching came out too. What was the whole story behind Jay-Z and the flag a few years ago? I thought he used to study York science with jazz. Absolutely. No one really knows the whole science with that. You know, the way I'm, you know, my opinion on it is that that was something that with the Muslim gods. You know, that's who I saw him with around it, you know what I'm saying? You know, look, it's rules to everything. You know, and you know, Jay-Z, you know, listen, you cannot be from Nostrand Avenue. Uh you cannot be from Nostrand Avenue and not know the science of the gods. All right, I know Born Allah definitely powerful. I know powerful, but I don't know E Rule Supreme from California. $500,000. He might have been Dr. York at one time, but $500,000, his name was John Mill. Carmelo Anthony is 5%.
All of me years, I ain't know that.
Yeah. His brother is Justice from Red Hook. You know what I mean? You know, he's in a world where that's what they sent him over there to kind of be cushioned, you know what I'm saying, from the hardships of what was going on in the hood, so he could make the most out of his talent. You understand what I'm saying? So he didn't grow up like this and everything. But like the brother said, he got the knowledge from his brother. You know what I'm saying? He's been up to the hill on his own. Like I noticed that when people started saying, "Yo, what's Jay-Z doing with the flag?" Melo came up here with his flag on. Like, nah, he ain't get it from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm up here with the guy. Look, he took a picture and everything. Like, nah, I'm official, son. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't catch that. But Melo threw him under the bus, man. But these people, like I said, it's one of them things where you said Just Allah from Minnesota. I don't know who Just Allah from Minnesota is. Yeah. You said Just Allah is Hebrew? How you get a name like Allah? Somebody has suggested that, that we actually have an entire show, you know what I'm saying, where we look at the hip hop industry and kind of, name the brothers, who was influenced by this, you know what I'm saying, versus and the brothers who was 5%. But we deal with a lot of responsibility, man, a lot of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Having to quote 120 lessons. See, a lot of people, when they get rich, they don't want to have to be, you understand what I'm saying? It's easier to go and deal with one of these other things. You understand what I'm saying? Where, you sit around and, you speak, it's like, remember on Good Times, music, not Good Times, What's Happening? When they had the episode with the basketball dude and he had to take the test so he wouldn't flunk out. And they asked him, he said, "Yo, man, what kind of class you had?" He said, "I had class like music appreciation." See what they do in there. Said, they asked you, "Would you like to hear a piece of music?" And I say, "I'd appreciate that." They give me a hand. You see, that's what people want to go with a nation like that. Where you say, "Yo, do you know about the original man?" I'd appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And they built for the day. Yes. See, it's easier to do that. You understand what I mean? Than to say all that above is caused by you. And that's across the board. But I'm saying, especially for somebody who has been exposed, you know what I'm saying, to this knowledge, has been exposed to the responsibility, you know what I'm saying, that it takes. And 6 sextillion tons is a lot. Yeah, Sun Tzu, Kadri is the guys. What's the other brothers up there in the brothers up in Canada? Got love in the building. Said in one way, I kind of like the free publicity that Jay-Z created through controversy in the media with whites. He had to deny it before the cock crows thrice. I mean, I didn't really see all that much publicity. I met one person who said, he was influenced by that Xing regime. Those are the guys. But yeah, I met one person who said, he was influenced by that to look into the 5%. But, Rise Fresco, I haven't really, I heard Rise Fresco is the 5. I haven't really, gotten a chance to meet him or none of that, or really hear him speaking. I think I heard him speaking on the Law School of Mega page, but I'm not sure that was him. Power, who's that from Saint Lunatics? There's a brother in the Saint Lunatics that's 5%. And then there's some other brothers that I've heard is 5%. Oh, our power is Raz Fresco. Yeah, Ali. But it's other people that I've heard, like I heard Daz is 5%. But I never got a chance to build them. Then you got other people like what's her name? The girl that always take her clothes off.
I don't know, bro. You're talking about Nikki.
Nah, she's a little bit before that.
Kim?
Call Tyrone.
Badu.
Yeah. See, she's 5% influence.
Yeah, definitely. Big time.
Yeah. Like even that brother that she's talking about, I don't know nobody that knows him.
Big time 5%.
Yeah. Love said even at 85% of blacks would be extra mad if Jay really had knowledge. I mean, well, he tried to portray that in the last album. The last album that he did with Jay Electronica, he basically tried to portray that he was a 5%. But this is when you start really getting into this fine line of just like look, you saying a person is 5%, right? But I'm saying how you know. Like, see, back in the days, a person was 5% if you built with them before, or somebody that you built with them before, and determined that he was the 5%. Yeah, SD Knack, that's now a law up in Massachusetts, 5%. Just Allah. I don't know who Just Allah is. But see, this right here. This is like a lesson where you can see a lot of people that y'all thought was 5%, they not really 5%. And then other people that y'all ain't know about, nah, those they the 5%.
It's true, because I swear I thought everybody in Wu-Tang was 5%.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I came today. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'll keep it 100. But everybody in Wu-Tang was 5%.
Just Allah say he taught himself. All right, then he probably not 5%.
Hey.
Jonathan Kidd said what's tricky is a lot of said nations use some of our info and it would make it seem like they are us. I mean, you know, there's some things, right, that you got to take the good of success with the bad of success. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that, you know, we were so successful that, you know, when other people want to achieve that kind of success, you know, when you want to be able to say, yo, you know, all the babies in New York is dealing with your nation, right? Then you try to incorporate some of the elements from over here. You understand what I'm saying? You know, just like in anything, you know, it could be in basketball, you know, how many teams, you know, first you got one team that got a power forward that can shoot three. Now every team, you know what I'm saying, because they see how successful that is. Now if you can't shoot the three as a power forward, you might not make it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be extra on your game if you ain't shooting three as a power forward now. You gotta be able to stretch the floor. You understand what I'm saying? So by that same token, you know, especially when you're dealing with New York, you know what I'm saying? In other places, you know, if it's California, you're gonna hear people talking that gang talk. You know, now recently, because of the influence, you know, that's what happened, you know, in my opinion, because of, you know, you had a war between Funkmaster Flex and Jay-Z about who was going to be the top of New York. And, you know, in that war, they both ended up bringing a lot of artists and a lot of music to New York. You know what I'm saying? The people that started getting played on the radio because Funkmaster Flex wanted the New York artists to pay homage to him. And when they wouldn't, then he wouldn't play them on the radio, and he started playing these songs from, you know, the South and, you know, other places, you know, and so you got generations of people now that they grew up with that music. So you get 6ix9ine, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, when he wants to be successful, he starts kicking that gang talk. You said King Techno? Never heard of him. FDJ Beats says, so these brothers who say they are because they have knowledge of self, how do they identify? Who said they are because they have knowledge of self? What knowledge of self? See, let me tell you another thing, you know, to be clear. You use an example. It's 8 o'clock. Here, right? Now, right now, if a brother was getting jumped, right? You know, I was just walking down the street. I wasn't there when it started or whatever, but the brother was getting jumped, right? And I jumped in to the fight. You know, some people would say, yo, why you jumped in, man? It wasn't even your business. right? Now, if I say, yo, listen, nah, son, that's my cousin, man. That's blood, man. You can't do that to my cousin. Everybody will understand what I was saying. Everybody would know that, yeah, we blood because, we somewhere down the line, you know what I'm saying? We related to the same people. We got the same blood in us. Everybody will understand that. At the same time, no one would mistake that for me being down with the group of individuals who have been living openly and notoriously as the Bloods for 50 years. So by the same token, look, you can have knowledge of self. That doesn't mean that you're a part of the nation that's been living openly and notoriously as the 5%. See, other people, they making that up. You want to go now to the lessons. You don't know the lessons. You wasn't studying the lessons. What other people you seen quote the lessons like us? But now you want to go to the lessons to say you a 5%. See, you can make we ain't making this up. What I'm telling you is this. Go to the Board of Education, the New York City Board of Education, ask them who the 5% is. Go to the Department of Corrections in New York State. Ask them who the 5% is. Go in any projects in New York City. Ask them who the 5% is. My uncle, who said, ask me if this is a game, he's still alive. Go ask him who the 5% is. He's not going to tell you nothing about no Muslim guys. He's not going to tell you nothing about no Muslims. He's not going to tell you nothing about people who have the knowledge of self. He's going to say, yeah, them cats. So, it's, to me, it's one of those things where, you know how when you first start seeing a different group of people, like when you first start seeing Asian people, you can't really tell them apart. You don't know the likenesses and the differences. But to them, they don't look nothing alike. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. To, the people who don't know, yeah, we all seem like we with the same thing. But to us, no, they're not teaching nothing like what we teaching. He said the brother New York Oil, who was the short one from UMC's, said he has 120 and now 5%. Yeah, a lot of people got 120 now 5%. That's what I'm saying. We a particular thing. You said, for instance, FDJB said, for instance, certain members of Wu might memorize 120, rock the 7, and build with Papa Wu on other older guys, etc. When they rep the nation and identify as 5%, what's to say, how is one identifying who's who? Well, I said earlier, you know what I'm saying, in the first hour, in terms of, see, you got the son of man who searched for trains of years, and you got the son of man who agreed. See, some people want to come amongst us, right? Because they seekers. They trying to seek their way out. You know what I mean? You got people who, they might just become like myself, who just become dissatisfied with the religion that they dealing with. See, I became dissatisfied with Christianity and left that alone years before I got introduced into the knowledge. But I wasn't really searching. See, I had came to the conclusion that, whoever God is, all these people that's telling me, they don't know. I'm listening to what you're saying, and what you're saying don't make sense. So, I ain't really I can't, like I said, different small experiences. It might be a small thing, but for me, it was big. You know what I'm saying? Like we going to Sunday school, and we used to have to read a story in a little booklet. Now, in the booklet, all the people was black. They had afros, and we used to color them brown and black. But then when you go on to church, they got the milkiest, whitest Jesus you ever seen. You understand what I'm saying? And we just came out of Sunday school with them telling us that he's burnt like brass. You understand what I'm saying? Or another big thing, look, these things seem silly now, but I was a child at the time, and that was how I was analyzing what's on face value and what's not. Even though, look, this is TV, this is movies, but look, after I saw Jaws and Orca, it made me wonder about Jonah and the whale, man. They how you wait, man. Yeah, like I done been to school now, learned about the digestive system. How you lived in this whale stomach for a week, for a day, for a minute. When I saw Jaws, people ain't make it. So all of these things produce questions where I became dissatisfied. But the thing was, it wasn't like that sent me on a search like now I'm reading on Buddhism, or I thought none of them ain't know what they was talking about. Until somebody presented me with the mathematics, I was like, oh, this is what everybody's talking about. When I see the lessons and I see the crusades in there, oh wait, so I knew they was bullshitting about Jesus, man. No one, I see what all this stuff is about. So that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with some people who they want the lessons and they want to study this, man, because they see themselves in it and they agree that there is no God but their own self. And then you got other people that's just like, yo, let me get that 120 so I can kick that in my rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Or yo, so I can, build with the brothers, use the verbal slang terminology. That's what King Just told me that y'all asked about from Staten Island. When I ran into him and he asked him, like, yo, why you saying you God? Because I said, peace, guys. He was like, yo, nah, I'm not. So I said, well, why you saying that? He was like, nah, I'm just saying God like the verbal slang terminology. What? See, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You got to remember, if a person is not ready to 5%, you the one being fooled. So just like it's something about them and what they saying, there's something about you and your ability to analyze, you know what I'm saying, who these people are. And that's kind of the thing, with anything that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? There's some people that's just nosy. Like we don't have to go far, you know what I'm saying, to see that look, there's people that, they got the lessons, man, just because they wanted to see who was in there or something, but they ain't never had no plan on studying it. Like my man the other day, flipping through the pages. He's somebody that's curious about what it say, but he's not really about that life, man, how they say. Like you said, Paz is an Italian Muslim. Sea raised walls is 5%. Boot camp is 5% influence. Why haven't the guys designed a website where we can go and purchase the music of the true and living gods and earths, or the music that the true and living gods and earths release, or even create a record label for the gods and earths. Well, nobody has the rights to everybody's. Nobody has the rights to everybody's music like that. I mean, it's an idea. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's definitely been collaborations in terms of the underground. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of brothers done records together. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of times when you're talking about something like that, you know, it's the people at the top that's got to push for some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing the NBA, nobody don't have to worry about losing their job for kneeling because LeBron is going to go out there in the front. You understand what I'm saying? And once he do it, everybody's free to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't kicking me out the league, period. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, in my opinion, that's one of those situations. You know, other than that, yeah, anybody could do, you know, a underground type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's also, you know, there's a phenomenon. I mean, I don't really know how to, you know, but a lot of 5%ers don't support 5% music. And I don't care who it is. You can look at Wu-Tang. A lot of them fans, white people. Yeah, you go to a lot of these shows at 5%ers and you see all Caucasians there. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I say sometimes you can't get mad at the 6ix9ines because, you know, when the Blood put music out, the Blood support that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's a factor too, where I'm saying that, you know, a lot of brothers that make music, it's like, yo, you know, nah, I ain't really doing nothing, you know, like that because brothers ain't really going, you know, support it the way, and it's like that, you know, not just for the guys, but for, you know, what people call real hip hop in general. Like, you got so much people get on the internet talk about how much they love hip hop, you know, and how much they love this artist and that artist. The reality is, a lot of people, a lot of them artists you talking about, they put records out within the last year, and you didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? And then you wondering why they didn't put no more out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because, you know, why ain't get no radio play? Because the other people in to a certain degree now, you don't even gotta pay. If you just stream the shit, the brother would get paid. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame 6ix9ine because, you know, he puts his supporters go and stream his thing 40 million times in one day. So, you know, that's a factor why, you know, I don't think the idea gets rolled around a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it is an idea. Summer Killer Army is 5%. So having 120 doesn't make you 5%. It doesn't. Is it based on your enlightenment? Now, see, let me explain something to you. And you sound like you probably just getting introduced to this knowledge. You know, see, we use a phrase, right, where we say that we give you the knowledge. But see, the reality is we bring the knowledge out of you. See, anybody who's a 5%, you'd be able to look back at even when you was at 85%. See, like, look, even when I was at 85%, I ain't take stuff on face value. You understand what I'm saying? You know, people who, you know, is not something that's going to make the leopard change his stripes. You know what I mean? But what it is It's the difference between if you got a leopard and they born in the zoo, so they don't get a chance to be around a natural, existence. They don't know how to hunt and all these different things. You understand what I'm saying? But all the power that it takes to hunt, right? Even if they born in the zoo, all the power, the teeth, the claws, all of that's there. The speed, everything is there. But if they get around animals that give them that training, then it just brings it out of them. But if they soft and they can't really take down a buffalo, they're gonna die. Yes, what I'm saying, yeah, there's no amount of training you're gonna do is going to turn that leopard into a good hunter, if it ain't in them.
That's a good analogy.
Got Jam. Jam came in. Yeah, I know Strang too. I know him from over on Picking. Right. Jonathan Kidd said most bloods he know from Cali when he was staying in Cali would say that's their relative, instead of saying I was their blood. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's a first person. But I'm saying if somebody outside of that context, right, said that was my blood, everybody will understand what they were saying. So for instance, if you want to go through the degree, who is the 5%, and it says Muslims and Muslim sons. See, first of all, between us, Muslims and Muslim sons, that's a wide description right there. You know what I'm saying? From what they do and how they live out, the science of everything in life.
Oh man.
See, that's what you call us.
So maybe they bring umbrellas on.
You know what I'm saying? To how we live and what we say we do. You understand what I'm saying? What you're saying is exactly my point. That a blood would never speak like that. By the same token, you would never hear me saying that Muslims and Muslim sons is 5%. You would never hear me saying that these 5% influence people is 5%. Whoa. Nah, I didn't hear nothing about that, SW. C-Ray's Wars. You saying there's allegations he got caught up in some type of rape? Yeah, that would be very, very un 5% like. I wouldn't 793rd, you right exactly about that. The first generation of the New York City Bloods had a lot of 5%.
As a matter of fact, I thought it started from 5%, then they transferred to something like that.
Yeah, it's like back and forth,
Yeah.
But those ain't the only two. Ascari X. I don't know Ascari X. Right, Jonathan Kidd said he ran into a lot of cats asking him for 120 to use for lyrics. See?
Wow.
Rock? Who's Rock? Cannibal Ox. I don't know about the whole Cannibal Ox. What's the one brother's name? There's a brother in there that was taught by El Devon. El Devon Darkim that comes in the room from time to time. There's a brother in Cannibal Ox that he taught. I can't recall his name, but I don't know about all of them being 5%. Asiatic forever. SW said when he was 7 years old, he realized that when they told him that grape juice was the blood of Jesus and bread was his flesh, basically he asked, why was we practicing cannibalism? Nah, but it's true. You know, in terms of society, I guess society and religion, I don't know how you would really put that, but in terms of eras of time, Jesus was the last sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like when you deal with the time when, like when Abraham was going to sacrifice his son, or, you know, many coaches had that. Today's Marcus Garvey's born day. Why do I ain't say nothing? Y'all know I don't be, y'all know I'll be, you know, things like that slip right past me. But yeah, shout out to Marcus Garvey, the Garvey family. But getting back to what I was saying, though, Jesus was supposed to be the last blood sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, you know, getting people to convert to Christianity. You know what I'm saying? They came from religions where, you know, the pagan religions, that's what they did from time to time in order to gain the favor of the gods they was worshiping. So that's another meaning behind when they said Jesus gave his life for all of us. So that's one of the things that they practicing with that communion. What? C. Ray's Wars got locked in March for felony rape. That's on Hip Hop DX? Damn, C. Ray's. Damn, that's heavy. Mm. Rock is a female rapper out of Washington, D.C. Right, Vast Air. Vast Air is the one that El Devon taught. Rock, I mean, I never heard none of her. She runs with Jay Electronica. You know, I generally, you know, I avoid the Muslim guys. I didn't listen to Jay Electronica's album. They teach what they teach. I teach what I teach. Wait, what's this? FDJ Beats? Your OG says the same about martial arts. If you learn Kung Fu in America or teach yourself, you can say you're a monk from the temple, even if you can do the style like them, or say you can't say you're a monk. I think this probably was a typo. If you learn it in America or teach yourself, you can't say you are a monk from a temple, even if you can do the style like them. You know, you know, and then even with that, I mean, you're going to be able to do forms. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the same thing with, you know, I don't know how you would teach yourself how to use supreme mathematics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, ultimately, one only learns what one teaches itself. But you know, it's not a memorization thing. It's a cultural thing. It's an experience. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, how you gonna have the experience of a nation by yourself? Yeah, fly phrase from the Providence plantations. I said the same thing. Sea raised walls. Jonathan Kidd said, I kind of thought, we talking about Cyrock. I kind of thought Cyrock was 5%. Wasn't sure. Then I remember she got this song called Goddess Gang. I mean, that's you know, see, and this is another thing that happens with people that come into contact with the knowledge of self. See, a lot of people, especially when they get older, right? They have a misunderstanding about how simple the knowledge is. See, this knowledge is for children. So see, but it still entails 360 degrees of reality.
Wow. Coming out like that. Oh, I thought it was a ring.
Yo, Darkim. Everybody come when I leave, don't let them in that mission garden. Leave them in the rain, all right? Too smart ass niggas ain't showed up yet.
He coming down the sheets out there. It's coming down the sheets out there.
Yo, it's coming down in thunderstorm. That rain ain't playing. And he too smart ass, little small one. I told you, old talk shit.
Yeah.
Be across the street. I'm praying that he don't show up because they wait for the rain to stop. He that motherfucker out of the rain. Don't let him in the garden.
Oh, man. But yeah, see, that's what happens is that when a lot of people see how simple this knowledge is, right? Or how simple it is, or how simple it looks on face value, right? They're under the impression that, well, yeah, this needs to be added on to. Like, yeah, we need to take this stuff here from Egyptology.
Listen, you know it's gonna rain in the evening. I don't give a fuck. I make rain. Okay.
Wow, man.
You make rain, huh?
You see how they
Well, let
do?
me see you do the rain dance that stop rain.
Yeah, you know, so people want to take something from Egyptology and add it on with our science. Because they see that this is simple, so and then you done been to college and all these places, and you think that things should be complex. You can't understand how we could break down the science of everything in life to just love, peace, and happiness. Because you really don't understand what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you look at the similarities, you know what I mean? Because the truth is the truth, no matter where it comes from. So you look at elements of the truth over there, elements of the truth over there, and you think, yo, the best thing, man, is that we could put all this stuff together. You understand what I'm saying? But see, what you gotta realize is, look, lions and zebras is both mammals. But they wouldn't like it if you put them together just because they mammals. You understand what I'm saying? You still, you do what you do, and we do what we do. And that's what happens sometimes with, you know, the younger people, you know, they come around.
You got a car with you?
I live on the block.
Oh, I didn't already say, if you don't have a car with you, you might have to spend the night. Cause it's coming down.
It ain't let up yet.
No. No,
I'm at the bar one of the plastic bags you gotta.
they dead. Ain't no more. I just did that. The fucking garbage can.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank God it's live up the block.
Yeah.
That's a great building building over there.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So that's what happens with a lot of people. You know, they see these similarities and they think, you know, that, you know, you got to put all of this together, and it's that's not the actual case. You know what I mean? Even if we both hunters, we could be lions, they could be tigers. We're not gonna get along. Oh yeah, the God is not a fable or a fib. I didn't never really. I think I saw the video, but I saw it from Infinite. I didn't get a chance to see it. But you see, that's a good example of a jump off where, you know, yeah, the guys.
I'm serious.
I'm gonna get you on.
But I
I gotta go get you King one. I feel sorry for him and his Godfather had.
Oh man.
And they take him 2 hours to get up the block.
Wow.
But yeah, that's the example of, you know, the guys come together, you know what I'm saying, and you know, we collaborate on some things, you know what I'm saying. By the way, you know, Planet Asia, he got some sneakers coming out soon. I don't know what the name of them is, but he got some Nikes. He got some Nikes that's coming out soon. So be on the check out for those, man. I don't even know how you got that hookup yet. Listen, I'll wait till he get out here, man. So I got ask him how you got that hookup. Like, yeah, he coming out with his own Nikes, man. Yeah, just to show you, man, that, you know, how they say in that lesson, man, you know, it's guys in all walks of life, in high society, and so yeah, the guys doing it like that.
That's a big deal right there.
Like, he skipped the part where he said we eating fish sandwiches. Chance Infinite? Yo, because you vegan, you skipped the part where he said we eating fish sandwiches. Yeah, he got to deal with the manufacturer. I'm just saying, I don't know how you do that. You know what I'm saying? Chance from Self Scientific. Yeah, nah, I don't know. Can you build on the wisdom when detecting like minds? You gotta clarify that. You gotta clarify that question a little bit. I don't understand.
Okay, I'm giving you a whole range too.
Thank you.
Right? You know, I went to get the New York hat, bread, and nuts. You know?
Oh, man. Anyway. Woo.
Okay. By the way, cause y'all know how y'all do. Y'all try to drag me. Y'all try to drag me into another hour. Y'all try to drag me into another hour. So we want to say, yeah. Anybody that got some questions, now's the time to ask those. You know what I mean? Everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like buttons. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification buttons if you want to know when the lives is going on. Got Jason Rosario came in. Gods and Gangsters. I mean, I heard of Self-Scientific before, but I didn't really get a chance to check them out. Well, how long is it going to take you to refine the question? You know, I mean, I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but when you say when detecting like minds, you know, with anything that you measuring, you know what I'm saying? Like you saying detect the mind, you know, in order for you to detect it, you need some kind of instrument. You know what I'm saying? You need some kind of instrument that detects it. You know what I mean? Like it could be Wi-Fi in a building, but if you don't have a phone or a computer that has Wi-Fi, you won't be able to detect the Wi-Fi. So see, the mind can only be detected by the mind. You understand what I'm saying? Intelligence can only be detected by other intelligence.
Like Kim, thank you, bro. What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow is 7.
And
Thursday is 7.
okay, I'll see you tomorrow, bro. Thank you very much.
No doubt. Peace to God.
Get on stage. I give you the scissors, right?
Yeah, they right here. You know, yeah, speaking of that, you know, I was just on the what's the name today. I got a call that got it up. Should be about that time to me and God ain't work on that and we ain't collaborate on nothing. Did we do something this year? Yeah. We did the song on my album this year. You gotta ask somebody who heard that song before, Born Love. I seen 2 people with the Sham God shoes. I don't got them. They look fresh.
Yeah. You have to shoot it. Yep.
Yeah.
She mom want you.
Cool.
She mom want you.
Tell them I gotta finish up the class right now. But yeah, we got any other questions? You know, pertaining to, you know, just in general, you know, that this, you know, everything that we dealt with today is the reason why, you know, people got to show and prove. This is why everything is subject to be shown improvement. And this is why, you know, you gotta keep your sword up. So anybody who come in your realm, they gotta show and prove. You know, because ultimately you gotta remember, man, you know, this is about leadership, you know, of the world. You know, this ain't just about, you know, us having all these friendly conversations. You know, so like, you know, we discussed earlier about how, you know, many people that's been the downfall. You know, I heard what's the name one time? I heard a statement one time that every single uh you know, every single person, every single group that's ever tried to you know, take action for freedom, justice, and equality in America has been ratted on. Like, yeah, every single one. You know, at least that, you know, they know about. There's always been an informant. So, you know, right now, this is a little bit trivial where we just speaking about which rappers, you know what I'm saying, is 5% and which rappers is 5% influence. You know, but there's also, you know, there's an application of this, you know, that's on the level of life and death. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I say, the stories, you know, what would you say, the characters in these stories and recognizing the ideas that they manifest. So that's it. Are we on some type of delay here? I'm still, man, bugging out onto this thing too, man, that the brother said about sea raised walls, man. That's didn't expect that. Anyone out there? Well, y'all know how I always like to say, you know, uh, when I build, uh, you know, I make things so crystal clear that no one ever has to have a question. Yeah, we got a lot of people, 45 people. How many likes we got? One of these days, man, we gotta get some of the other people. One of these days, we gotta get some of the other people to say something. But you know, a lot of people probably, you know, they don't want to say nothing because then, but if you know, they ask to show and prove. Then you got a lot of people that's just observing, you know, peace to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the background as well as all the people that participate. Um, I wouldn't say we haven't been infiltrated. but at the end of the day, you can infiltrate us, all you're gonna learn is the truth. When as a person could be an infiltrator, but there's still tactics that they use. The ways that you dismantle, organizations. You can't do that to us because we're not an organization, which doesn't mean that we're not organizing what we do, because this is one of the purposes of supreme mathematics. But in the end, what could they do? Like there's no person that we all kicking the money up to. You understand what I'm saying? There's no big homie. There's nobody that we all working for. So you can infiltrate. But it's just that once you infiltrate in, the damage you're going to be able to do, especially if you come amongst those, right, who's going to make you show and prove. See, for those of us that grew up like that, look, that's actually, you can ask, brothers like SW, we remember this, some other brothers that might listen. That's the way you get rid of people. Like, look, we might be around, right? It might be me and SW, right? And we got some equality. You know what I'm saying? And, me and SW, we don't want to deal with all these heads. Everybody ain't the same for everybody. So how me and SW get rid of them? Start going through degrees. That's how you always get rid, just look, little tip for everybody out there. You want to get rid of cats? Start building on the degrees. Even if it ain't the degrees, just start building. You want to get rid of the lovers of chaos and confusion. Start building. All of a sudden, dudes is gonna remember that they were supposed to be going to do something for their moms. Real hip hop said, "Why isn't the 5% nation widely known today?" Well, look, I live in a bubble. I guess I'm on the inside, so I'm not I'm not aware that other people don't know about. In fact, I'm just the opposite. Like, if a person tell me like, "Oh, so you gonna tell me you never heard of 5%?" Like I said with Jay-Z, you wearing the flag acting like you don't know. My man, you from Nostrand Avenue. Like, that would be like saying you from Crenshaw and you never heard of Crip or Blood. That would that would be like saying you from Pennsylvania Avenue, but you never heard of the White House. That would be like saying you from Michigan or Ohio and you never heard of the Great Lakes. So, to me, and that's another thing. Remember I was saying about time, you know what I mean? About what time you come in and how you see certain things, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, look, just the fact that you're in Cleveland asking me that question is kind of a misnomer. You know what I'm saying? I come on, L. Lowry. We got all the L brothers in here today. The L brothers posse is in the building. You know what I'm saying? But just the fact that you in Cleveland, you know what I mean? We got brothers on here from Poland, and like I said, when we was discussing anybody who was on my Instagram live a couple of weeks ago, and Born-in-Law from LA was talking about the first time he came to New York. You know what I'm saying? And we was looking at him like he was a space alien that just landed. Hey, where's your spaceship? Where's you pick your brother over there? He from LA. From LA. How you get the knowledge? Like how you read, like it didn't seem, because at the time everybody who had the knowledge was right around here. Like, yeah, we know his guys in Medina, you know what I'm saying? We know his guys in Mecca, we know his guys in the desert. At the time I really didn't know his brothers in Staten Island. We knew his brothers in, see, at that time, we used to say New Jerusalem, though. I don't know when Now Justice started coming in at some other point. I ain't really sure. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, look, brothers that first start coming from Jersey, right? They was the first people that I heard say now why. Like nobody from New York said we was from now why. Like we all from now why. We from Medina or Pelon or but that was, brothers said, I was in the site, brothers said, yeah, man, y'all brothers from now why. I don't know, he's talking to me. So hip hop said, who's an infiltrator? Well, like I told you, there's FBI files on there's FBI files on the law. Law was one of the, he's one of the early targets of COINTELPRO. You know what I'm saying? So and like I said, if you look at those files, it has information saying, look, they're gonna be here, they're gonna be there, this is their plans. And then under that, it says after that, it says, all right, no doubt. After that, it says this information was given to us by redacted name. And then it says who is a 5% and has given us valuable information in the past. Real Hip Hop said the young crowd doesn't know about the nation. Well, who's the, what do you call it young? Because, somewhere down the line, young started being a lot older than I recall it. You said even in New York, you dudes don't rock with 5% or know what that is. I'm asking why. I mean, I don't. Like I said, it's difficult for me to really give an analysis of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm inside. You know what I mean? Inside the 5%. I don't know any people. That you would say that. Now in terms of and don't take this the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You younger people, y'all grew up more in ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't, like I tell people, like we was discussing on here before, one of the reasons, Farrakhan, in terms of the truth is the truth. And, what I hear, I don't follow them all that closely, but what I hear, what he's teaching is not Elijah's teachings. You know what I'm saying? But I still give him credit for, being one of the people that created the atmosphere in which I got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes, drug dealers used to drive around in their cars, you know what I'm saying, listening to Farrakhan tapes. You know what I'm saying? The rappers in my era, they was using, they was listening to Farrakhan tapes. You understand what I'm saying? We grew up, in my era, we grew up in the civil rights era. You know what I'm saying? We was a little more, my generation, we was amongst the first people to stop getting Bible names. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't getting Bible names and Greek names and Roman names no more. You understand what I'm saying? We grew up with the Afro, being nobody's moms had a blonde wig on when I was growing up. You understand what I'm saying? So the reality is, y'all know about it, but y'all manifest it in a more, it's a, like for instance, Drake is the sixth God. Now, you may say that they don't know, but to me, that's clear influence from the 5%. They got the other kid, the bass God. Clear reference to the 5% to me. You understand what I'm saying? Just the way, people like right now, that's like slang, Peace King. That's clear, influence of the 5%. You understand what I'm saying? Even when people say, right now, anytime people try to say they banging, yo, we the new Wu-Tang. They not just talking about rhymes, they talking about that whole 5% thing that they had with them. Right? See, all on the businesses saying they didn't, Malcolm, Martin Luther King just returned the other day before I was born. You understand what I'm saying? So this was the type of things that,
it's
at
9
least
o'clock.
in New York, was much more prevalent, you know what I'm saying, than what's out there right now. Oh man, Speed Racer, that's a shot. That's a low blow at Kanye. guess Speed Racer won't be getting the new Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's kind of the thing, you know, something came along, you know, in which it was much less, you know, just intellectual, you know, there's a lot of things that changed, you know, from the time that I was first getting the knowledge to, you know, like right now, for instance, you know, ASAP Rocky even calling himself God. You know, funny story though, he did say that his real name is Rakim. And he got that name because his moms met the rapper Rakim on 125th Street when she was pregnant with him, and then she named him that. But you know, to me, all of those factors mean something. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is a generation that is much more dumbed down, you know, not the situation, you know, like when I was growing up, like see right now, you got poor people that, you know, they going out and buying Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Like right now in Harlem, a lot of them stimulus checks is going to sneakers and buying these e-bikes. You know what I'm saying? You know, we didn't have the video games and stuff like that. Like we was outside dealing with the raw reality. You know what I'm saying? Where you know, really, you know, dealing with your situation, you know, the condition of the people that you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it's a different whole value system out there. You know, the responsibility, you know, is the responsibility to the community, you know, even in terms of like when you know, I can't say this about gangs everywhere, but in New York, the gangs that existed, they used to protect the neighborhood. But now the gangs that exist, they terrorize their own neighborhood. Yeah, we had Super Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? And Super Nintendo was fly. But there's a difference. That was kind of still not, it was like, yo, you can't really play unless you can play for a quarter. Unless you playing on the real video game, like, yeah, that's all good. Like you had dudes that could flip the game over 1,000 times in the house. You know, being in the house, you know, being, you know, king of in the house, that was really frowned upon, you know, in my era. And it wasn't just frowned upon by the kids, it was frowned upon by your parents too. You know, we was just speaking about the time where, you know, if you know, it was a kid and for whatever reason he didn't have no men around him, his moms would bring him outside and say, listen, keep him with y'all. And if he act up, whip his ass. And then turn around and tell him, you better not come upstairs crying either. So, you know, in that atmosphere, when you went outside, that's who was out there, the 5%. But see, you know, like who you talking about in New York? Like you talking about dudes like 6ix9ine? Like, nah, these dudes wasn't around. They, you know. But see, even I say that, you know, even within the 5%, there's a lot of people in the 5%, right? That y'all never would have got the knowledge from me. Because you wouldn't have been where I was at doing what I was doing. On some level, you got to be where I'm at doing what I'm doing in order for me to even know you there to start speaking to you. Whereas now, it's more of a culture. Like Super Nintendo, that was a game that you had, yeah. But listen, ask SW. You know, back in those days, you wasn't gonna sit up in the house and have that TV on and be playing that game for no hours and hours. They'll let you know you about to make my electricity bill sky high. No, you got to get out of here. You wasn't gonna be up in the house and look. See how y'all got y'all own TVs? We didn't have our own TV. Back then, there was a TV in the living room. Your parents might have a TV in their room, right? And then your moms had a small TV. Your mom's had a small TV that she would keep in the kitchen with her when she was cooking. And in the nighttime, when she finished cooking, you could get that small black and white TV. That's what we used to have in the room, watching wrestling and The Odd Couple and The Honeymooners in the nighttime. But you ain't going to be up in their house just running an electricity bill up like that. Japhet Muir, divine knowledge Allah. Super Nintendo was the mid-90s. Now, I don't know about that. But you know, I'm not an aficionado on all of that. Now, when you say you an 80s baby, you was born in the 80s or you grew up in the 80s? Cable, I said he had a TV. I don't think I got no TV till about. I mean, I remember how I got the TV, but I don't really recall when. I got a TV when the remote controls came out. When the remote control TVs came out, then my parents got the remote control TV for their room, and then that's when I got that TV. You know, really, we got that TV in the room, but you know, until then, now we have no TV. We looking outside the windows. That's TV. All right, you was born in 81. So you at the, you know, kind of the tail end, you know what I'm saying? You know, by the time the video game stuff really took off, yeah, you was a little, you know, you probably was already hitting the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, you could look right now in New York City, right? You know, when you used to go by the basketball court, like if you got to the basketball court after about 1 o'clock, you ain't playing today unless you dumb nice. Because people already got next till 10 o'clock tonight. You know, when you go out there now, you don't see that. You know, it's a different type of people. You know, your parents pick your friends now. You go on play dates and stuff. You know, I never been on no play date. You know, kids today, they spend the majority of their childhood, you know, with their moms. I spent the majority of my childhood outside. Yeah, see, Fly Phrase talking about what I'm talking about. You know, TV in the living room, TV in the parents' bedroom. Pops dropped us off at grandma's house when he went to work, and my grandma kicked us out the crib so we couldn't run up the electricity. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, mathematics. That's what you know kids do now. Play dates, man. Like right now, you know, if it was right now, and I grew up the same way that I grew up, my parents would be in jail. You know, it's just it's a whole different time, man. Yeah, Fly Phrase. I remember all those days. You know, that Fly Phrase. That's another thing that happened. That's another reason why you see, you know, why you see, you know, people is a little, you know, the obesity rate is up right now. There was no junk food until like that I recall. I started seeing junk food in the house in like 83, like 80, 82, 82, 83, like stuff like fruit roll-ups and stuff like that, where, you know, you just eat all day, you just snacking on all the sugar. Nah, man, get out that refrigerator. You put something in there. So, you know, but this is, you know, this is not saying that nothing is wrong with the young. This is just saying that these is the obstacles. These is the obstacles that we got to overcome in order to get the message to them about what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not about condemning them or saying, you know, that, you know, because it's positive and negative in the ways that the kids grow up now. But, you know, the downsides is that, you know, if your parents is not aware of certain things, then, you know, you never become aware of it. Yeah, right. Like all on the business is saying right here, nobody wants to get on the youth level. You got to squat down and pick them up. Sometimes people judge the youth without realizing that they're not even keeping up. Even a dog appreciates when you lay on the floor next to it. Some people can't get on your level, so you need to get on their level. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, you know, these are the differences that you got to realize. You know what I'm saying? Just like you know, with dealing with the law school. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that we about to institute over there in the computer room. We're gonna be turning that into a remote learning center. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the kids, when they logging on to go to school, they logging on their phones. So you can't really, uh, you know, see everything on the phone You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if the parents turn their heads and the kid might don't log on, or if the parents got to go to work or anything. So we're going to have the room right there. So first of all, they got the big screens. We got people there to supervise, make sure they logging on if they need help. We got a teacher there that's going to be helping them and everything. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the way we got to do it now, because it's not the days when I got the knowledge. When, you know, when I was coming here, my parents didn't know where I was at. You know, they didn't know who I was around. You know what I'm saying? And it was okay. Yeah, the young kids, they like the extra medium t-shirts. Yeah, SW. See, now look, that's when you know. That's the look. Have you ever is real hip hop still on here? Have you ever bought candy for a penny? Have you ever, if you've never bought candy for a penny, you might that listen. That's a saying right now. I don't know if that could be a t-shirt. But look, if you've never bought candy for a penny, you probably won't understand. if you never bought candy for a penny, yeah, big bowls, peanut chews. But look, I remember we used to get a whole, it used to be like 5 mints in a pack for a penny. You used to go to the store with a quarter. You used to go to the store with a quarter and come back with a bag, like a one of those small bags that you, like a bag that you could fit a can of soda in. You could come back with that bag full. Nowadays and all that stuff was pennies, man. You might pay like 3 cents or something for a pack of Nowadays, maybe. But those is the realities, man. You know, when you have to be more on point. But you know, at the end of the day, that's, you know, like I said, you know, we gotta step our game up. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I said, they continue daily. So don't think they didn't observe what happened. Don't think that, you know, they didn't see that, oh, you know, that's how the 5% got all those people to do that, and then adjusted their establishment to stop that from occurring. So what that means is now we got to adjust how we get in the word to the young. Processes in the early 2010s, the youth was more interested in things from our era, fashion, entertainment. They would run up on me about Big L and Nas. They respected what their parents and older brothers taught them. Now they're more focused on their own culture. WWF, yeah, WWF was a thing for me too. But you know, y'all dealing with like Triple H and them. You know, I'm Bruno Sammartino. You know, George the Animal. You know, y'all dealing with Nick Foley and them. There's nothing wrong with Nick Foley and them. I like them. But he's no George the Animal. Yeah, we used to do the wrestling matches. But you know, we had the oh yeah, S. Reeves is going back, Devon Eriks. S. Reeves is going back. Listen, he's going back to the fabulous Freebird days. Back when Arn Anderson was still young. But you know, we had the Kung Fu movies too, though. You know, I don't know from what year to what year that was, but on Saturdays, what it was, Saturdays at 3:00, the Kung Fu movies used to come on. The movies that Wu-Tang is based on, they used to come on at 3:00. So at 5:00, the streets was battle royal. Listen, and some dudes were serious. Like almost everybody had the Kung Fu slippers. You know, you come outside with your Kung Fu slippers, but look, there was dudes that had the whole ninja outfit. Got the belt and everything. Yeah, we outside fly kicking each other to the face. Yeah, see. That's it, yeah, it was Macho Man. Right, Macho Man. Macho Man was that dude. You know, who's my other man? Hacksaw. But Hacksaw, you know, he was a little bit later on. Real hip hop said he grew up rocking kung fu shoes. Yeah, but yeah, we had dudes like that. Blackjack Mulligan. Phantasm 1 to 9. So you know those. I mean, it's just you know, the world out there is different, and we gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, there's people that not people. Sarnetta, shout out to Sarnetta. You know, he likes to ask the question. You know, how come you don't see the guys out on the corners no more? You know, building on mathematics like we used to. You know what I'm saying? You know, the reality is we could go out there, but where's the kids? Like those corners, you know, it wasn't like we got assigned to a corner like, yo, look, Christ, we need you to go stand on this corner right here and build on this topic. Nah, that's where we was from. When the 5% found me, I was being on them corners. And just like I was there, other kids was there too. You know, the first place I heard somebody say that they was God was in the corner store. So, you know, there's no need to go fishing in a lake where ain't no fish no more. You know, and just in general, you know, time has moved on. You know, we've evolved as well too. You know what I'm saying? You know, in my era, uh, you know, you was likely to find the 5%, you know, yeah, on the corners. You know what I'm saying? You might find the 5% a lot of place where you know, you might think okay, you saying you righteous, what you doing there? But now you find the 5%, like, I don't know if you was tuning in there when my daughters came on the show. So see, you find the 5% now at Michigan State University. You know, you find them in, you know, Amherst College. You know what I'm saying? You know, my youngest daughter, you know, she's still in the public school, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, she's on the debate team. So that's where she take, you know, her science of applying mathematics, you know what I'm saying? Knowing how to, you know, not argue, but make an argument. You understand what I mean? For whatever her point is, you know, instead of being outside the school, you know, early in the morning and after school, you know, she's in the debates, you know, the auditoriums or wherever they do that. That's where you find 5% at. You know, and those type of things, you know, at the end of the day, they good things. But the reality is, you know, that yeah, we pushed a certain amount forward, right? But we can't forget about the ones that's still right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can speak for those ones. I mean, you know, yeah, because I've been there since day one. You know what I'm saying? And you know, all of that had an impact on things. You know what I'm saying? If you talk to brothers who's in the first generation, right? The first generation of being born in this, meaning they was born in this in the late 60s, early 70s, early 80s. You know, they pops was in the street establishing the science. A lot of them didn't get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's another thing. As a nation, we matured. So, you know, in my generation, when we started having seeds, a lot of us fell back. You know, I wouldn't say I fell completely back because I've always been teaching. You know what I'm saying? I teach class and all those things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm generally not a person to pass the buck, but look, if you ask me, it's those 90s people. You know, I hate to throw y'all under the bus. Or saw knowledge. Peace, black man, where you from? As Reed said, we played on top of broken glass and hypodermic needles and still made top shooters. Hey, man. Right. Fly Phrase said the kids don't be playing outside like that no more. The parks and ball courts are deserted. You know, but you know, yeah, I hate to all right, you mean what's love hella right? But Illinois, shout out to Illinois. We have a lot of brothers from Illinois. Yeah, you know, a brother contacted me from Detroit. He was supposed to be coming in the room. I had told him to tune in so that he could come and tune with some brothers out there. You know. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, if you ask me, the kingdom of love hella right? Yeah, man. Is that like a place? Like his brothers say, Black Medina? Is that the name of the place, or is just a state of mind you're saying? So Olu Graphics said in the 90s, things, building went into the college study rooms. And listen, that's another thing that happened where, see, getting into the college study rooms, number one, this is something I always say, started getting older people. You started getting people who, they felt like they was more educated and should therefore be responsible for making all these different types of changes in how we do things. And when they went into the college study rooms, they left out, the kids who eventually, became the gang members, whatever, people need guidance on every level. Even people that's doing negativity, they need guidance and certain rules. See, that's one of the things that happened to the street is that as they start locking brothers up at earlier and earlier ages for longer and longer times, it started leaving younger and younger people with less understanding and control of the streets. And so the things that started happening started getting out of hand. A lot of younger brothers, they feel like, uh, a lot of younger brothers, like if you see people that's about 40 down, maybe a little bit less between 35 and 40, they feel like the older generation abandoned them. You know what I'm saying? And, this is, just the reaction and, you got to deal with it. You said it's the place. Universal Almighty say, cool, my brother from Love Hella Right. Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, what the colored man called Love Hella Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, all in the business. I gotta come in tune with what's your name? Real hip hop. I keep trying to find real hip hop. He told me he got some DJ stuff. I ain't find no DJ stuff. But yeah, I've been trying to get in tune with real hip hop. So his what's the name? Where you do your what's the name at? It's on YouTube or it's on Instagram? All on the business. Instagram. All right, Champagne. Shout out to Champagne, Illinois. I think we had somebody on here before from Champagne. Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna hit up Instagram. I hit it up not too long ago. And certain computers that I'm on, if things work right, then I end up I had logged into my I had broadcasted one time from Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Oh, that was you before that was on here from Champagne? Tell you something about that. Yeah. It was a couple months ago, I recall. Yeah, but now that's the deal, real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That you know, it's at that stage where because remember, you know, in 1964, a lot, he's a grown man. So, it's not, kids is not just, flocking to him for no reason. You got to create that magnetic, you got to have something that they want, you know what I'm saying? And, one thing, in the 60s, a lot of people wanted to learn martial arts, boxing, all of these different things, because for one reason, it was coming to that point where a lot of brothers was feeling that, look, eventually this situation with us going back and forth with the colored man is going to end up with us having to rock out. So that was an element that, of magnetic that he had that he used to draw them up. Yeah, Instagram. I don't know what. I don't know why. I just Instagram hasn't been the same. You said it's lit. So where's the podcast gonna be? Yeah, I got a couple of things. Matter of fact, I gotta hit the guide up, man. Uh, I'm supposed to be providing some content to a couple of new. Uh, well, one thing is it's going to seem like a whole network, like a whole channel that it's going to be dedicated to 5% content. Now I'm talking to All on the Business. Where's the podcast going to be? Real hip hop. Where's your pod? I'm saying we're Like, is it on iTunes? Is it where is it at? The guy Jeffett said the devil is dealing with mind control, which equals to a snake bite, which is the cell phone. We have to be the antidote by going back to the basics like the Father did. I mean, we gotta apply it. You understand what I'm saying? There's no going back. That's just the way time works. You know what I'm saying? That's the way, the 25,000 years, there's no going back. See, back is to the essence. But you're right in terms of applying the basics like Allah did. And that's, one of the things that I'm taking the cue in terms of making this remote learning center. You understand what I mean? That's the origin of the school. You know what I'm saying? It was open, as an educational center, so that the brothers could get back into school and be able to have a productive life, you know what I'm saying, where they wouldn't have to be locked up in jail forever or losing their life, you know what I'm saying, just so we're trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? They could be civilized and further the education of their families and communities. You see what I'm saying? So indeed, I agree with that. And I'm applying that, you know what I'm saying, in terms of using that blueprint to be successful. See, that's what it is. You got all these aliases. DJ Melodic One. Who's supposed to know that? You had to beat up a white supremacist. Yeah, that's something. In my life, I've never really been around too many. I don't know if they avoided me or I'm avoiding them. Okay, so this is on Anchor app. Right. All right, so Anchor puts it on iTunes and Spotify. Maybe I need to check out the Anchor app as well. My joints is probably too long. Yeah, Jeffrey, that's that's something, getting the kids out of the city and all of that. But like I said, we also got to keep in mind that we in a different time. We in a different time than when that was going on in the last time, or even in my time. You know what I'm saying? Where they took us one time, Dumar Wadi. He took us someplace upstate. I don't even know where it was, but we was in the mountains. Like, we was hiking up the mountain, cooking outside and all types of, but see, it wasn't no cell phones then anyway. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I said, now it's a different atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you can't just, you know, I'm just telling my grandma, yeah, I'm going with the guys. Yeah, the guys, now we got a trip. Yeah, now everything's good. You know, in this day and time, you know, you know, but that's what it means to continue daily. See, continue daily, that don't mean you did the same thing every day. And you can continue daily to build a house, but if you already built the foundation, now you're building the walls. You know what I'm saying? You build the walls, you're doing the plumbing. You still continued every day, but particularly the way you apply yourself to building the building may be different. So you're right and exact, but I'm just saying that, you know, uh, these are bigger steps than they used to be. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. A white supremacist called you boy. Like I've never been called names by white people. Not to my face. You support guys locked in the belly of the beast by playing their music on the show. Yeah, you're right and exact, Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? You know, the part I really agree with you on is that you know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to reinvent the wheel, you know, but we do know that, you know, a wagon wheel is not appropriate right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a flat tire and you went to the place and they offered you a wagon wheel, you know, it's a wheel, but you want the updated one. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I agree with you 100% that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. All of it is crazy, man. I'm finally understanding what this brother said way back here. So Champagne is called Love Hella Right because all the brothers was in hell when they got the lessons. And they came out right. They came out right as soon as they got them. So yeah, that's peculiar. Village, I think people test me because I'm slim. I mean, that do happen. You know what I'm saying? But we've expanded out. Real hip hop said podcasts are fun. I've been podcasting for 10 years. So wait, podcasting is different from this right here, what I'm doing? I thought this was podcasting. All the graphics said if the young want to build using iPhones, FaceTime, or Zoom, then it's our duty to meet them where they are. Most definitely. because the civilized is held responsible for the uncivilized. That's a good point right there too, Jeffrey. All these modern so-called technologies being used, the original man created it. He is just using it against us now. Indeed. Yeah, all in the business. I doubt I would have walked away from that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's why, most of them, haven't taken the opportunity to say nothing like that to me. You said podcasting is a platform that allows people to automatically download new content as well as stream. Yeah, I'm saying, how's that different from what I'm doing? I'm live streaming. Yeah, but person can automatically download it. Can't call it. But yeah, everybody knows I gotta be back in the pocket tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So, if you haven't hit it already, do the each one teach one, hit the like button, share this on all your other platforms, your Facebook and your Twitters. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be, if you're new to the channel, uh, subscribe. If you want to be, uh, aware of when the live streams go on, hit the notification button. Carmen's only said it's technically the same thing. Podcast they could put on charged services. Oh, you got to pay for the what's names. Martez Miller says, I know light attract light, and you'll know who is the original 5% by the language that is being spoken. That's a major difference within self. You guys see what they're understanding. Do they really understand that language? Like one time, it was a dude, he was some kind of musician. And he came to our school and he taught us these songs in Spanish. I recall one of the songs that he taught us was La Bamba. And this was before the movie came out and everything. And we sang the song, but we didn't know what not one word meant. You know what I'm saying? So, be aware of that. That a person might be using our language and just be 5% influenced. When you make him show and prove, he won't be able to unless he's a 5%. Jeff Fitz said first the devil tried weed, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, pills, and it all backfired. Now he put in the cell phone for the babies. Well, yeah, they continue daily. All right, so Oh, I think so. The podcast is only it's audio. Yeah, see, that's something I ain't gonna I might do the next one, but in terms of like going back and doing it, I would have to let somebody else do that. Really right now, I got to get into some design. I got to design some shirts. You know what I'm saying? But in between time, in the meantime, until 7 o'clock tomorrow, when we come back in tune, peace.